mother and father had a fish and chip shop, and I think by the time I was about 1.5, we'd done better. We were living above the laundrette then. When I was very young, my mother and father were struggling quite badly. By the time I was, I guess, 12 or 13, I lived in a nice big house out in the suburbs, but my very early life was right bang in the centre of North London. I never took anything for granted, and my father was incredibly tight with his money, so I certainly never, even when we got into the nice big house, I still had to work for everything, which is really a good place to start, I think. I was given 3 45s, and one of them was Tom Jones singing Delilah. One of them, and the other 2 were the Supremes. And one of those 2 records had a big, was broken, so I had a big bit missing. So I used to lift up the stylus and put it down on the other side of the record, let it turn around and go like that. That was how I learned the record. But yeah, my Supremes, and I've always said you must be very influenced by music that you hear when you're very young, because I ended up somewhere in between the Supremes and Tom Jones anyway, didn't I, really? The writing has been a constant thing since I was a child. The believing I was going to be a pop star didn't happen until a bit later, I suppose. The Music Maker of the World, yes, that was my very first song. And I do remember the melody and the lyrics, but I shan't be giving them to you right now. I played drums on the pillows in my mate's house, and he played the guitar. But it was actually quite catchy. I often wonder if I had not bumped into Andrew, you know, how different my life would have been, because he was determined he was going to be famous. I think he would have been just as happy to be a footballer, but he was determined to be famous. And at the end of our school days, as it were, 5 years later, it was him that encouraged me to start a band as early as we did.